China is no longer talking about future ambition, it is building at scale right now. New assessments suggest the J-20 stealth fighter fleet could reach around 1,000 aircraft by 2030, a number that changes how global air power is measured. This video breaks down how that estimate was reached, what makes it realistic, and why this development matters far beyond aircraft numbers. The projection that China could field around 1,000 J-20 stealth fighters by 2030 did not appear out of thin air. It is based on observed production trends, historical development timelines, and the visible expansion of China's aerospace manufacturing ecosystem. The key factor behind this estimate is production acceleration, not speculation about future breakthroughs. According to the analysis cited in the article, J-20 production has entered a phase where output is no longer experimental or limited. Instead, it has transitioned into a mature, high-volume manufacturing program, comparable in scale to the largest fighter programs in the world. The report highlights that production levels are expected to reach approximately 120 aircraft per year by 2025, which is a critical inflection point. At that pace, maintaining output across the remainder of the decade naturally leads to a total fleet approaching 1,000 airframes. What makes this estimate especially significant is that every J-20 is produced exclusively for China's own Air Force. Unlike other fifth-generation programs that are spread across multiple countries and services, this fleet is centralized, standardized, and focused on a single operational doctrine. That concentration allows faster integration, uniform training standards, and quicker adaptation across the entire force. The J-20 first flew in January 2011 and entered service just 6 years later. That relatively smooth development path signaled early on that the program was likely to scale efficiently. Over time, steady upgrades and incremental refinements have allowed production to increase without major redesign disruptions. This projection is not presented as a guarantee, but as a logical outcome if current trends continue. The article makes clear that the estimate is rooted in observable momentum rather than optimistic assumptions. The importance of the number lies not just in its size, but in what it represents: China's ability to sustain long-term, high-tempo production of advanced aerospace systems. That foundation sets the stage for understanding why the next pieces, production infrastructure and training integration, matter just as much as the headline figure itself. The most striking aspect of the J-20 story is not the aircraft itself, but how quickly and consistently it is being produced. The article emphasizes that current and projected output places the J-20 in a category shared by only a handful of fighter programs globally. Reaching an estimated 120 aircraft per year represents a level of industrial confidence that fundamentally changes strategic calculations. This scale of production reflects a deeply integrated aerospace ecosystem. Manufacturing at this pace requires stable supply chains, synchronized component delivery, and the ability to absorb upgrades without halting output. The article suggests that China has achieved exactly that, transitioning from early low-rate production into a rhythm where improvements are introduced alongside ongoing manufacturing rather than replacing it. A major milestone highlighted is the confirmation that J-20 aircraft equipped with twin WS-15 engines have entered serial production. This is significant because engines are among the most complex and limiting elements of any advanced aircraft program. With this step, the article argues that the J-20 gains expanded advantages in range, flight performance, and onboard electrical power, directly supporting more advanced sensors and systems. Production scale also creates strategic resilience. A fleet produced in large numbers can better absorb maintenance cycles, upgrades, and operational wear without reducing overall availability. It allows aircraft to be rotated efficiently while keeping readiness high. In practical terms, this means the force becomes less fragile and more sustainable over time. Another critical point raised is that the J-20's production volume stands apart even among advanced aircraft. While other fifth-generation platforms are built for multiple customers with varying configurations, the J-20 benefits from standardization, enabling faster training pipelines and smoother logistical support. The article frames this production surge as more than a manufacturing success. It represents a structural shift in how advanced aircraft programs are executed, moving from limited elite fleets toward large, continuously evolving force structures. This production reality underpins every other aspect of the J-20's impact and directly feeds into how the aircraft is trained, deployed, and integrated. Large numbers alone do not create influence. The article makes it clear that the expanding J-20 fleet is being matched by equally significant improvements in training and operational integration, which is where its true impact emerges. According to the report, training involving J-20 units has grown markedly more complex and realistic. Rather than operating in isolation, aircraft routinely participate in coordinated sorties alongside bombers, aerial refueling tankers, and airborne early warning platforms. These activities are designed to simulate real operational environments, where success depends on coordination rather than individual performance. This approach reflects a broader shift towards system-level thinking. The article emphasizes that modern air power is no longer about a single aircraft outperforming another, but about how effectively different platforms share information, support each other, and operate as a unified network. In this context, the J-20 functions as one element within a larger ecosystem, benefiting from external sensors and support assets. The article also highlights improvements in air-to-air missile technology, noting that advances in this area have sometimes provided Chinese units with notable advantages. Rather than focusing on the aircraft alone, this underscores how effectiveness increasingly depends on the interaction between platforms, weapons, and data systems. Another key point is geographical experience. Training activity has increased in strategically sensitive regions, exposing crews to demanding operational conditions and reinforcing real-world familiarity. This builds confidence, adaptability, and procedural refinement across the force. What makes this especially important is timing. These training advances are occurring in parallel with fleet expansion, not after it. That means new aircraft are entering a system that is already evolving, rather than waiting years for doctrine and training to catch up. The article suggests that this combination, scale, integration, and realism, is what gives the J-20 program its broader significance. It transforms the aircraft from a technological achievement into a structural component of a modern, networked air force. From the U.S. perspective, this development is being closely watched as a signal of how quickly large-scale aerospace programs can mature outside traditional Western frameworks. Analysts and officials tend to view the reported growth of the J-20 fleet less as a single platform issue and more as an indicator of China's expanding industrial capacity, long-term planning, and ability to sustain advanced programs at scale. The focus in Washington is therefore not just on the aircraft itself, but on what this pace of production suggests about future competition in technology, training, and system integration across the broader aviation domain. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.